This is big breaking emergency news. We now have these, quote, no-go zones being set up around our country. People are describing these places as, quote, war zones. That is what is going on, and this is happening in multiple major cities around the country. These gangs and these groups are now assembling, and they are taking over major sections of our country, and they know that they can operate with impunity. This is happening right now. We're also getting an urgent warning from a FBI insider, another warning, and we're also getting another warning from Trump as well of what's going on inside of our country too. So please hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that sub if you want to get notified. I'm posting every single day. Let's dive into these details here, all right? Our country's cities are being turned into no-go zones. Certain areas are being taken over by these gangs, all right? And they are essentially war zones, a lot of these places that they are turning into, and that's even what FBI insiders are warning of. And they are warning that these gangs are coming across our southern border and taking over our major U.S. cities, all right? That's also a warning that we are getting from Trump as well. He is saying the same thing, right? This is a warning that was just posted by Trump today on his Truth social media account. He just put out this official statement. He said, quote, vicious gangs and gang members are pouring into our country from South America and from all over the world. They are being forced out of their countries, in particular Venezuela and Mexico, and being deposited into the good old USA by the tens of thousands. But here's the wrinkle. They refuse to take these criminals back. They think Biden and his administration are a joke. All right, that's what Trump just warned of on his official social media accounts. All right, so that's what's going on. And we also have these no-go zones, and these, quote, war zones are being set up in multiple different cities all across the country and in Mexico as well. All right, people in Mexico, they used to be able to go to these beautiful resort towns. Okay, they used to be able to go along the Caribbean and go to all these different places, and they used to be relatively safe, but now they're being overrun, and tourists are being deliberately targeted in these popular Mexico beach towns. All right, this is happening right now, and it's causing mass fleeing from these towns. People do not want to travel there. It's creating these no-go zones, and people are describing them as war zones. And this is heading to the United States as well, and it's already happening in certain cities like New York. Okay, they are being taken over by these criminal gangs, and especially these Venezuelan gangs. The FBI is warning that they are teaming up with these domestic gangs that are here, right? And we now have a FBI insider warning. That was somebody that was a different warning. All right, I covered that about a week ago. Now we have another warning coming from this FBI insider. I want you to hear what he's saying about what's going on inside of our country and how these gang networks are being set up. And this is creating no-go zones. They are taking over. Law enforcement is not challenging them. They are saying that they are getting away with this, and law enforcement is not challenging these groups or these gangs that are being set up, because a lot of them are powerful. A lot of them have thousands and thousands of people that are willing to do crazy things in our country. All right, but I want you to listen to what this FBI insider warned of as well, of what's going on inside of our country, and then we will hit some more news of these no-go zones that are being set up as well. But I want you to listen to this guy.
Yeah, we're in big trouble here. I mean, these are two of the most dangerous gangs on the planet. They are prison spawn gangs. They come out of the muck and the slime of these South American prisons, which are their stronghold. They are on the lowest rung of the evolutionary ladder when it comes to organized crime. That means they're all strictly street crime, which is dangerous. They bring with them just mindless knuckle-dragging violence. They kill with knives and machetes. MS-13 is well established. They're going to be the more dominant of the two gangs. They've been here for quite a while. And as you say, Dana, we knocked them down in late 2000s with just an international effort. But now they're coming back in and they're reestablishing themselves. And that bodes ill for law enforcement across the country. We're going to be living with this crime wave for decades. And I believe that Venezuela is emptying their prisons deliberately and sending these people up here, just like Castro did in the 80s.
So you heard that. That was FBI Assistant Former Director Chris Swecker. Okay, and he issued this urgent warning on Fox News. All right, he was issuing multiple warnings recently about our U.S. border, but he is now also warning that these gang networks are establishing inside of our country, and he's saying that we could be dealing with this for decades, and this is extremely dangerous for our country. All right, so these no-go zones are being set up. They're already set up in Mexico. All right, there's entire areas where it's just you can't go because these groups have taken over and they're expanding their reach into tourist areas as well. They're taking over and they are even asserting their dominance, they were saying, inside of Mexico. That's what they are doing, right? And they are doing the same thing inside the U.S. as well, right? Here's another warning that was issued by Trump. He also said this. He was reacting to what happened very sadly to this University State of Georgia student that's very sadly and tragically lost her life due to someone that was in the country illegally. All right, he responded, he was reacted to it. This is what he said, quote, this is a quote from Trump, quote, "Crooked Joe Biden's border invasion is destroying our country and killing our citizens. The horrible tragedy of 22-year-old Laken Riley at the University of Georgia should have never happened. The monster who took her life illegally entered our country in 2022, then was released again by radical Democrats in New York after injuring a child." He said, quote, "When I am your president, we will immediately seal the border, stop the invasion, and on day one, we will begin the largest deportation operation of illegal criminals in American history. May God bless Laken Riley and her family, and our prayers are with you." Okay, that's what President Trump also warned of as well, and was reacting to this very tragic and sad incident that could have been prevented if our border was sealed down, right? And we also have a big border breaking news here as well. Biden is now going to the border. Biden and Trump are both going to the border on the same day, on Thursday. They will both be traveling to the border. Trump initially announced that he's going to the border on Thursday, and then a few days later, Biden announced he's going to the border on the same day, right? That was just announced. This is breaking news as well, that these two will both be at the border on the same day. And Trump, I believe, is going to Eagle Pass in Texas, where this has been the epicenter of this border crisis and this border battle between Texas and the federal government. So Trump will be there on Thursday, and Biden will also be at the southern border as well, but he will be at a different location. Biden will be in Brownsville, Texas on Thursday at the same time while Trump is visiting. So it seems like there was some pressure from Trump for Biden to make this announcement to visit the southern border as well. And we also had Biden recently announce that he could enact executive action at the U.S. southern border as well to restrict these asylum claims and potentially make people wait inside of Mexico while their asylum claims are being processed, or at least put restrictions on the amount of people that can, quote, claim asylum every single day, right? We're not sure exactly what the executive action is, but he is talking about enacting this executive order to essentially close the border, quote, close the border I'm sure it won't be completely closed, but at least a soft close of the border, and it'll be a major announcement of a policy change that will shift the attitude towards the border, that it's just wide open right now, because that's what people think coming from all over. That's what these gangs think. That's what these criminal networks think. They are taking over our major U.S. cities right now. New York, okay, Chicago, Boston, Massachusetts, L.A., San Francisco, San Diego. All right, they're mass releasing people onto the streets in these cities right now. And they are all military age grown men in their 20s and 30s that are being released into our country every single day. It's very rare to see a woman or child, and if there is, they are less than 10% of the group most of the time, if there is any at all. A lot of time there's none, and if there is, they are normally a very small percentage of the crossings. All right, so this is what's happening, and the FBI is warning. All right, Trump is warning. Biden knows this is going on too. That's why he's going to the border. Everyone knows this is a major, major crisis for our country, and it's literally creating these no-go zones where these gangs are able to take over major parts of our cities and our economic zones. They are even bragging. They were saying that they were interviewing some of these people, and some of them were bragging that they are not prosecuted for the things that they are doing. All right, they are just released right away. Even if they are arrested in these major places, there's no bail. They're released. They can move to a different area, change their identity. They can do anything to evade this. We're operating in this two-tiered legal system right now, having this quasi-legal immigration that's going on. Legal, illegal. They can flip the switch whichever way they want at a moment's notice. That's what's happening in our country right now. So please hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting every single day, multiple videos a day for you guys, keeping you updated what's going on in our country, because this is an emergency. This is a crisis, and it needs to be taken care of, and they can take care of it tomorrow. They could shut it down tomorrow, but it's being used as a political weapon right now, and they refuse to take action and just shut it down. Biden could shut it down tomorrow with an executive order. He's even saying he could now and is announcing it, but he still hasn't done it. Shut it down. Every single day is a risk. Every day is another risk. Every day ups the risk. Every day there's thousands more. Every day there could be another person on a FBI watch list, more gang members, more people that want to hurt our country. Not saying every single person is that's coming over, but there are people that are coming over for sure that are threats to our country and our national security. Every single day is a risk. We don't have time to wait months to kick this political football back and forth. We've already waited 3 years, and the time to shut it down is yesterday. All right, that's when it should have been shut down. So make sure you are getting out of these big cities. All right, make sure you're getting prepared. Let me show you what I'm working on really quick. Let me give you guys a little update here. Okay. This is what we are working on. We have a garden going outside. We have chicks laying eggs outside every single day already. All right, we have big girls that we've had for years, but we were limited. We were off-grid in our RV. We only had a few girls. Now we have a bunch. We're going to start hatching them out. We're going to start producing more. We're going to have meat birds. We're going to have just our own little system here of producing chickens. All right, so we have more chickens on the way right now. All right, we have big projects here, building these coops, and that's what we are working on every single day, working hard to get prepared and to get ready and to be off of this grid as much as possible. All right, be trying to get away from these systems as much as possible, because they are vulnerable. They are being attacked. They are being overwhelmed right now, and they are allowing it to happen. We are lucky that there's not major attacks on U.S. critical infrastructure every single day with this wide open border, right? And we know that these foreign countries have their military units inside of our country already, and they're waiting to be activated at a moment's notice. We know that's already happening. We've seen the warnings. We've seen the people come over. This is happening right now, and this is why we need to be prepared, have our own systems, have our own garden, our own animals, our own chickens, our own hogs, cows, goats, whatever, rabbits, whatever you're working on. Find your thing that you like to do and do it. And I started out super small. I started out on just 5,000 square feet in the middle of a city, and I had chickens and ducks and a greenhouse, big gardens, all right? You can start anywhere. Just start now. Start growing and getting prepared now. So thank you guys so much. Hit it up for me down there. Hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.